So, safe to say the season and the expansion is over, or at least the season is over. We're getting a brand new season Tuesday, and I want to sit back and talk about and give my thoughts and kind of a review of the Witch Queen expansion and Season of the Risen since it has concluded. We experienced everything all at once, and we'll be breaking this down into the great, the good, and the bad. Now, I do have a lot to say on the bad, but it's not really massively critiquing the season or just talk about my experience as a player and kind of where things hopefully can shake up in terms of just my engagement with the game. But we'll get into that when we get there. So, first off, let's talk about the Witch Queen expansion story and Season of the Risen story. Phenomenal. By far, the franchise's best, and it's not even close. The narrative turn and kind of where we're heading with how we're telling stories within Destiny 2 or the franchise itself, I am all about it. Give it to me more. I love the narrative beats, I love the story, I love how it's presented, and I cannot wait for more. Season of the Risen, while it was short, fit very well with the Witch Queen expansion, and at the same time delivered a short, impactful story that kind of left me kind of like, wow, that was crazy. But we'll say, this does lead into my bad later, but the length of things, especially with how it was broken apart, definitely hurt me a little bit, but narratively wise, it was great. I love all aspects, and I cannot wait for what they do next season and kind of next expansion. It's really, they set a precedent I didn't think was possible, and it showed. Destiny broke all-time records for their player count on Steam charts, so I can only imagine other consoles and places. So yeah, some exciting times for the franchise, and I cannot wait. Another great thing, for some reason, I don't know why, but I'm throwing armor in here. The armor was visually pleasing, whether it was the new exotics or just the new armor pieces in general. I just loved every bit of it. Now, to be fair, I'm a Titan main, so this season I didn't play as Warlock or I played as Hunters. So maybe my thoughts on the exotic chest pieces or pieces of themselves aesthetically may change, but from what I've seen from the images, they all look pretty cool. They all have some interesting function. I know for Titans, they're pretty good, but for other classes, I get it. You know, the Hunter one does have a little bit of a finessing to do, but I love the exotics. And then last but not least, I thought the weapons were great enough for me to kind of go for it. There was a lot of different aspects, and my favorite part of the season, and kind of why I throw it into the great for weapons, is more stasis weapons, but not just more stasis weapons, useful stasis weapons. And yeah, I cannot wait. Last season with Season of Lost, we had 2 stasis weapons, and they were kind of good, and it just didn't expand too much. And then we had the threaded needle, which was really, really good. But again, we got more expanded stasis weapons, and that I love. So excited to check more of that out when it drops more weapons like that in the future. But yeah, now some of the good stuff, I will say updates, communication, and this sandbox generally is in a good spot. Now, this does include PvP, believe it or not. You guys may be confused later or why I threw into the good, because I will be talking about PvP in the bad. But the sandbox collectively is a very simplistic, understandable sandbox, and it's, for the most part, specifically in PvE, very, very well-rounded. Build crafting and everything, you can mix and match, and while there are clear dominant ones of like, okay, Heart of Inmost Life for Titans and Void 3.0 is a absolute requirement. Don't fuck around with anything else. Yes, I get that aspect of it. But in general, there's a lot of interesting things you could do with how the game feels now, and with subclasses transitioning into more 3.0s and more aspects and fragments in the tree system, I do think we should have some healthy stuff to do with our build crafting, and I cannot wait for what's added next season. Now, last on the good, this is going to be an interesting one. I don't know why, but music. It's not in the great, because I still think Beyond Light's music and all that stuff is better, but the music's pretty good. The music for this game is pretty good now. Still good. Beyond Light, I listened to the albums. Beyond Light is my favorite, but for some reason, The Witch Queen is pretty damn good. It's pretty close, but I throw in the good because, again, it's not better than Beyond Light, and Beyond Light, I hold to a different standard. So there's that. It's a weird one, but again, I have to feel like I have to mention music with this game. It's just remarkable. Now let's talk about some bad. PvP and Gambit are downright awful. Now, we do know PvP is getting some more love, and they're getting a new map for once, finally, since Shadowkeep. Crazy. It's been like almost literally 2 years, maybe 3. I don't even know. But it's been a long ass time since we got a new map, so we're getting one of those. Hopefully it's great. And then they're updating some stuff. They're adding an aerial stat for, you know, things of jump shooting and things, and they're also tweaking exotics for this stat. It's very complex. They're doing a lot of additions, and they're adding a ton to make it different. But it's just, I'm as someone who loved PvP, as someone who played it a lot, even through its faults and its failures and some of its massive wrongs, for some reason the direction they're going, I'm confused on how I feel. I don't think it's everybody that feels like this, but when it comes to weapons, like they're doing things, let's say they're nerfing shotguns or nerf Fell Winters or doing all this stuff, but Fell Winter is clearly the best shotgun. Like I love 7 Syrup. It's a great shotgun. I love other shotguns. Wristwalker, it's a great shotgun. But Fell Winter is the clear favorite. So like some of their steps haven't been proven to be that meaningful. And entering this year, they talked about how they want to eliminate abilities with PvP, like with gunplay. They want to focus on gunplay more than abilities in the PvP part of the game. And I did not feel that at all. It felt like I'm still getting spammed with a ton of abilities, the way things are working in build crafting and regeneration rates and stuff like that. It gets really gnarly, and I don't feel gameplay being the focus of PvP. So that's where that is. And then Gambit, I had so many high praise for Gambits over the years, but it has slowly descended into, it's still not a mode I think should be even be in the game anymore. It's tough to say that, but it's the truth and just kind of how I'm feeling about it. But in general, guys, that's pretty much all I gotta say on the bad. One final part that I have to add into the bad is the longevity of the narrative for this season. I thought it was a little short, but at the same time, I will totally admit the amount of time and production time they had to put into the expansion and then telling a story like they did. I get it. It's perfectly fine, but at the same time, I do think my fall off with this season happened much sooner than anticipated because of the season bits that ended, and it's just that. And I can talk about crafting a little bit. I'll wait till next season to talk about that because there's some changes and maybe it feels better, but until I'm leaving it off the board for this one. But yeah, I mean, as a player, I fell off a little bit sooner than I thought. I fell off about week 8 of this season, about give or take, and I kind of, well, when's the Call of Duty dropped the new season? April 27th, and that's kind of where I dropped off with Destiny. Maybe it's because I got back in the Warzone and I'm loving it again, or I don't know. I really don't know, but it was interesting for someone who loved this season so much and loved this expansion so much that I did drop off a little bit sooner. Maybe things change next season. I do expect that depending on how things go, but maybe that was the longevity of the narrative. I know one thing that keeps me entwined week to week is definitely the narrative for this game. Maybe there's other stuff. Maybe there's other games like Elden Ring and Warzone I got more interested in, but yeah. I mean, besides that, nothing but high praise for the most part with this expansion and the season. I cannot wait for next season. If you guys have any knowledge of next season and you guys know more than just the name, don't say it. I know the name of the season. I'm not going to say it, but just don't say it. I'm out of respect for the marketing campaign of Bungie. They're doing great jobs. They're doing great jobs over there with the anticipation. Everyone's excited. It's working out, believe it or not. I know you want to know, but it is working out. You look on Twitter, you see it working out. Everyone's talking about it. But with that being said, guys, all I got for this one. You guys enjoy this video, found this video informative, or just enjoy the conversation you're having with me, or just hearing me have, or whatever. I don't even know where I was going with that. Definitely drop this video a like, helps out the video a lot. If you guys are also new here and want more Destiny 2 videos or any other videos I cover or make on the channel, definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified for when I drop a lot of Destiny 2 content when the next season drops. I'm going to be hitting it hard beyond belief, and I really mean that. You guys are going to be actually amazed by the amount of content I'm going to dump on you guys next week and just the weeks after. I'm really going to hit it hard beyond belief of what this channel has ever seen. But yes, I'm going to shut up. Let you guys enjoy, go about your day. Hope you guys have a good one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.
Tell me where you are.